自然者よ我らの魂を救いたまえ。聖なる神、聖なる義、聖なる良性のものよ我らは我々よ。聖なる神、聖なる義、聖なる良性のものよ我らは我々よ。聖なる神、聖なる義、聖なる良性のものよ我らは我々よ。これは父と子と聖子に必須のいつもゆえにおき。死生産者よ我らは我々者よ我らの罪に罪を消せよ。謝罪を我らの過ちを許せ聖なるものよ。そいて我らの願いを癒したまえと道徳の日による。勝利め勝利め勝利めよ。これは父と子と聖子に必須のいつもゆえにおき。天にいます我らの父よ我らが同じの名は聖とされ。何時の国は光、何時の森は天に行われるほどとご地にも行われん。我が日曜の糧をこにし我らに与えたまえ。我らには見えるものを我らが許すことと我らの負い目を許したまえ。我らがいざないと導くぜな我らを清くより救いたまえ。Even thine altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God, blessed are they that adorn thy house unto ages of ages shall they praise thee. Blessed is the man whose help is from thee, he hath made a sense in his heart, and the veil waiting in the place which he hath appointed. Yea, for the lawgiver will give blessings, they shall go from strength to strength, the cloud of God shall be seen in Zion. O Lord of hosts, hearken unto my prayer, give ear, O God of Jacob, O God, our defender, behold, look upon the face of thine anointed one. For God is one in thy courts, and thousands elsewhere. I have chosen rather to be an outcast in the house of thy God than to dwell in the tents of sinners. For the Lord loveth mercy and truth, God will give grace and glory, the Lord will not withhold good things from them who walk in innocence. O Lord God of hosts, blessed is the man that hopeth in thee. Thou hast been gracious, O Lord, unto thy land, thou hast turned back the captivity of Jacob, thou hast forgiven the iniquities of thy people, thou hast covered all their sins, thou hast made all their wrath to cease, thou hast turned back from the wrath of thine anger. Turn us back, O God of our salvation, and turn away thine anger from us. Wilt thou be wroth with us unto the ages, and wilt thou draw up thy wrath from generation to generation? O God, thou wilt turn and quicken us, and thy people shall be glad in thee. Show us, O Lord, thy mercy and thy salvation do thou give unto us. I will hear what the Lord God will speak to me, for he will speak peace to his people and to his saints, and to them that turn their heart unto him. Surely nigh unto them that fear him is his salvation, and glory may dwell in our land. Mercy and truth are met together, righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Truth is sprung out of the earth, and righteousness will look down from heaven. Yea, for the Lord will give goodness, and our land shall yield her fruit. Righteousness shall go before him, and shall set his footsteps in the way. Bow down thine ear, O Lord, and hearken unto me, for poor and needy am I. Preserve my soul, for I am holy. Save thy servant, O my God, that hopeth in thee. Have mercy on me, O Lord, for in the day will I cry all the day long. Make glad the soul of thy servant, for unto thee have I lifted up my soul. For thou, Lord, art good and gentle, and plenteous in mercy, and dwell and call upon me. Give ear, O Lord, unto my prayer, and attend unto the voice of my supplication. In the day of my affliction have I cried unto thee. For thou hast heard me, there is none like thee among the gods, O Lord, nor am I mercy unto thy works. All the nations and thou shalt come and shall worship before thee, O Lord, and shall glorify thy name. For thou art great and workest wonders, thou alone art God, guide me, O Lord, in thy way, and I will walk in thy truth. Let my heart rejoice that I may fear thy name. I will confess thee, O Lord, my God, with all my heart, I will glorify thy name forever. And great is thy mercy upon me, and thou hast delivered my soul from the nethermost days. O God, when oppressors have risen up against me in the assembly of the mighty, have silent for my soul. And they have not set thee before them, but thou, Lord, my God, art compassionate and merciful, long-suffering, and plenteous in mercy and truth. Look upon me, and have mercy upon me, give thy strength unto thy servant, and save the son of thy handmaiden. Work me a sign of the good, and let them that take thee, behold, and be put to shame, for thou, Lord, hast opened me and comforted me. Work me a sign of the good, and let them that take thee, behold, and be put to shame, for thou, Lord, hast opened me and comforted me. これは父と子と聖子に消す今もいつもゆえにありん。ハリルヤ、ハリルヤ、ハリルヤ、神よ神にキス。ハリルヤ、ハリルヤ、ハリルヤ、神よ神にキス。ハリルヤ、ハリルヤ、ハリルヤ、神よ神にキス。シュワオレメ、シュワオレメ、シュワオレメよ。The noble Joseph, taking the most pure body down from the tree, and having wrapped it in pure linen and spices, laid it in another tomb. When thou didst descend into death, the life immortal, and thou didst slay the devil with the splendor of thy divinity, and when thou didst also raise the dead out of the nethermost depths, all the hosts of heaven cried out, giver Christ our God, glory be to thee. Unto the barbarian women, the angel did cry out as he stood by the grave, where is meat for the dead? But Christ hath proven a stranger to corruption. For thou, O thou who forsakest born of a virgin into separate crucifixion of good one, it is to spoil death by death, and else thou didst reveal the resurrection. Disdain not them which thou hast fashioned with thy hand, show forth thy love for mankind, and merciful one, accept the help who gave thee word to intercede for us. And do thou, our Savior, save a despairing people. Deliver us not up utterly for thy holy name's sake, neither disannul by thy covenant, and cause not thy mercy to depart from us for Abraham's sake, thy beloved, and for Isaac's sake, thy servant, and for Israel, thy holy one. Saying that we come, saying that we saying that we rejoice, and saying that we come, saying that we saying that we rejoice, and saying that we come, saying that we saying that we rejoice, and she says, "I show you what I want, and I show you what I don't." So you may say, "Get this deal." Just I know what I know. I want you to say, "No, no, no, no." So we say, "What I don't know, I know. I show you for the book of commandments. I know you. Show it, show it, show it. You know, call it. Show the station. You see, no, you see, no, yummy. Thank you, mas. What I don't see, I never go. I don't know. Say to say that. And you know, when you want to tell you, not you know what I want. You know, when I want to go to the you know, when I want to. 我が日曜の竹を日我らに与えたまえ、我らにおいえるものを我らに許すこととく、我らの負い目を許したまえ、我らをいざないに導かせな、我らを恐怖より救いたまえ。東御天のことを選ばなき、人ことを精神にす、今もいつものように。アーメン。He that shut up the abyss has seen us one dead, and like the world, the immortal one is wrapped in linen and myrrh, and placed in the grave, and when he came to night, and weeping bitterly and crying out, this is the most blessed Sabbath day wherein Christ shall, having slept, shall arise on the third day. And let us by following the commandments may make are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. Blessed are they that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in the heavens. Remember us, O Lord, when thou comest in thy kingdom. Remember us, O Master, when thou comest in thy kingdom. Remember us, O Holy One, when thou comest in thy kingdom. The heavenly choir praiseth thee and saith, Holy, 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 Lord of Sabaoth, heaven and earth are full of thy glory. Come unto him and be enlightened, and your faces shall not be ashamed. The heavenly choir praiseth thee and saith, Holy, 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 Lord of Sabaoth, heaven and earth are full of thy glory. The choir of heavenly angels and archangels of all the heavenly hosts praiseth thee and saith, Holy, 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 Lord of Sabaoth, heaven and earth are full of thy glory. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and of all things visible and invisible, and one Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the only begotten begotten of the Father before the ages, light of light, true God, God, and you, who has us with the blood of thy born concerning, who for us, friend, for our salvation, came down from heaven, was incarnate of the Holy Spirit, and appeared to Mary, and came around, and was crucified for us, and cross of body, and suffered, and was buried, and prepared day, and rose again for us, and spiritual ascended into heaven, and sent to the right hand of the Father, and he shall come again with glory to judge the living and the dead, and shall reign, and all spirit, glory, and the blood, and the Son of the Father, and the Father, and the Son, and the resurrection of all Christ, the prophets, and the Holy Catholic, and the Son of God, and the blessed baptism for the remission of sins, and the resurrection of the dead, and the life of the world. Amen. Remit, pardon, forgive, O God, our offenses, both voluntary and involuntary, in deed and word, in knowledge and ignorance, by day and by night, in mind and thought, forgive us all things, for thou art good and the lover of mankind. Tennimas, waremos, chionego, kuananjino, navaseto serare, nanjino kuniwa kitabi, nanjino munewa, tenyo kanawari, goto kuchini mo kanawaren, organishio no kateo, kunichi warani, atai tamae, warani no miyagi no, warani viskoto toku, warani no miyagi vishitamae, warani no mizanai ni ichikuzuna, warani no kyoku yori sutui kamae. Amen. He that shut up the abyss is seen as one dead, and like a mortal, the immortal one is wrapped in linen and myrrh, and placed in a grave. And women came to a night and weeping bitterly and crying out, This is the most blessed Sabbath day, wherein Christ, having slept, shall arise on the third day. O all holy Trinity, the consubstantial dominion, the indivisible kingdom and cause of every good, show us thy goodwill, even unto me, the sinner, and make steadfast my heart, and grant an understanding, and take away my every defilement, light my mind, and glorify him, worship and say, One is holy, one is Lord Jesus Christ, to the glory of God the Father. Amen. It is truly meet to bless the old Theotokos, ever blessed and most pure, the Mother of our God.
聖大土曜日我らを救いたまえ。
More honorable than the cherubim, and more glorious beyond compare than the seraphim, who without corruption givest birth to God the Word. True Theotokos, we magnify thee.
ハリストス神我らのとどみを光栄は何に帰す、光栄は何に帰す。 ハリストス我らの誠の神は、その至上なる母、国章方針なら諸神父、および諸聖人の祈祷によりて、我らは我に救わん。彼は善にして人を愛する主なればなり。
earth and the sureness thereof, it shall not be turned back forever and ever. The abyss like a garment is dismantled, upon the mountain shall the waters stand. At thy rebuke they will flee, at the voice of thy thunder shall they be afraid. The mountains rise up, and the plains sink down into the place where thou hast established them. Thou appointedst a bound, and they shall not pass, neither return to cover the earth. He sendeth forth springs in the valleys between the mountains, where all the waters run. They shall give drink to all the beasts of the field, the wild asses will wait to quench their thirst in them. Beside them will the heavens, the birds of the heavens lodge, and from the midst of the rocks will they give their voice. He watereth the mountains from his chambers, and the earth shall be satisfied with the fruit of thy works. He causeth grass to grow for the cattle, and green herb for the service of men, to bring forth bread out of the earth, and wine made to glad the heart of man, to make his face cheerful with oil, and bread strengtheneth man's heart. The trees of the plain shall be satisfied, the cedars of Lebanon which thou hast planted. There will the sparrows make their nests, and the house of the heron is chief among them. The high mountains are refuge for the hearts, and so is the rock for the hares. He hath made the moon 4 seasons. The sun melteth going down. Thou appointedst the darkness, and there is the night, wherein all the beasts of the forest will go abroad. Young lions roaring after their prey, seeking their food from God. The sun ariseth, and they are gathered together, and they lay them down in their dens. When man shall go forth unto his work, and unto his labor in the evening, how magnified are thy works, O Lord, and wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy creation. So is this great and spacious sea. Therein are things creeping and innumerable, small living creatures with the great. There dwell the ships, there this dragon and mouse made to play therein. All things wait on thee, to give them their food in due season. When thou givest it them, they will gather it. When thou openest thy hand, all things shall be filled with goodness. When thou turnest away thy face, they shall be troubled. Thou wilt take their spirit, and they shall cease, and unto the dust shall they return. Thou wilt send forth thy spirit, and they shall be created, and thou shalt renew the face of the earth. Let the glory of the Lord be unto the ages, and the Lord will rejoice in his works, who looketh on the earth and maketh it tremble, who toucheth the mountains, and they smoke. I will sing unto the Lord throughout my life, I will chant to my God for as long as I have my being. May my words be sweet unto him, and I will rejoice in the Lord. O let the sinners would cease from the earth, and they that work iniquity, that they should be no more. Bless the Lord, O my soul. The sun melteth going down, thou pointedst the darkness, and there is the night. How magnified are thy works, Lord, and wisdom hast thou made them all. Hallelujah, 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 coming for all peace. Hallelujah, 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 coming for all peace. Hallelujah, 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 coming for all peace.
我らの前にして主によら上よりなら我らが魂の救いのために主によら全世界の神の聖なる諸教会の天律および囚人の合一のために主によらこの聖母および真と慎みの神をする心と思ってここに至る者のために主によら教会につかまる尊貴なる我らの東京の大司教全日本の副司教ダニエル尊貴なる我らの仙台の大司教東京の副司教セラピム祭の尊貴ハリストスの祭職と道徳の教習および囚人のために主によら我が国の天皇および国を迫る者のために主によらこの町その町と地方および信用を持ってこの地による者のために主によら飛行中は五国法上天下太平のために主によら公開する者旅行する者病による者観難には者取りことないし者および彼らの救いのために主によら我らの業の霊と怒りとや人を招かれるがために主によら神や命の恩寵をもって我らを助け救いや愛に守れよ施設にしていただいて賛美たる我らの公営の女祭昇進上へて道女マリアと諸祭人と記憶して我らの群れの身を呼び互いにおのおのの身をもって並びにことごとくの我らの命をもってハリストス神に託せ けなしおよそ光栄尊貴福杯は汝父と子と精神に帰す今もいつもよように。
In the first world, Lord, I cried unto thee, hearken unto me. Today, love groans and cries aloud.
It had been better for me had I not accepted Mary's son. For he is come to me and destroyed my power. He has shattered the gates of brass, and his God he has raised up the souls that on one side out. Glory to thy cross, O Lord, and to thy resurrection.
For with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption.
And he shall redeem Israel out of all his iniquities. Today help grows and cries. Today help grows and cries aloud.
Today, love groans and cries
Aloud. It had been better for me had I not accepted Mary's son. For he has come to me and destroyed my power. He has shattered the gates of brass, and his God he has raised up the souls that I once held. Glory to thy cross, O Lord, and to thy resurrection.
Oh, praise the Lord, all ye nations.
Praise him, all ye peoples. Today the groans and cries aloud. My power has been destroyed. I accepted a mortal man as one of the dead. Yet I cannot keep him prisoner. And within my shoulders all those over whom I rule. Like down in my power the dead from all ages. But see us raising them all. Glory to thy cross, O Lord, and to thy resurrection.
For he hath made his mercy to prevail over us.
And the truth of the Lord abideth forever. Today thou groans and cries aloud. My dominion has been swallowed up. The shepherd has been crucified, and he has raised down. I am deprived of those whom I once ruled. In my strength I devoured them, but now I have cast them forth. He who was crucified has emptied the tombs. The power of death has no more strength. Glory to thy resurrection. Glory to thy cross, O Lord, and to thy resurrection.
声は父と子と聖子に通ずる。Moses the great man distinctly prefigured this present day, and
And of this heaven
礼し慎みて立て。
「
unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be to you the beginning of months. It is the first to you among the months of the year. Speak to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, On the 10th of this month let them take each man a lamb according to the houses of their families, every man a lamb for his household. And if they be few in a household, so that there are not enough for the lamb, he shall take with himself his neighbor that lives near him, as to the number of souls, everyone according to that which suffices him shall make the reckoning for the lamb. It shall be to you a lamb unblemished, a male of a year old. Ye shall take it in the lambs and the kids, and it shall be kept by you till the 14th of this month. And the multitude of the congregation of the children of Israel shall kill it toward evening. And they shall take of the blood, and shall put it on the 2 doorposts, and on the lintel, and the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh of it in this night roasted fire, and they shall eat unleavened bread with bitter herbs. And ye shall not eat of it raw nor sodden in water, but only roasted fire, the head and the feet of, and the appurtenances. Nothing shall be left of it till the morning. And a bone of it ye shall not break, but that which is left of it till the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, your loins girded, and your sandals on your feet, and your staves in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste. It is a Passover to the Lord.
The reading is from the prophecy of Jonah. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai, saying, Rise and go to Nineveh, the great city, and preach in it. But for the cry of its wickedness he called up to me. But Jonah rose up to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. And he went down to Joppa, and found a ship going to Tarshish. And he paid his fare, went up into it to sail with them to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. And the Lord raised up a wind on the sea, and there was a great storm on the sea, and the ship was in danger of being broken. And the sailors were alarmed and cried everyone to his God, and cast out the wares that were in the ship into the sea, that it might be lightened of them. But Jonah was gone down into the hold of the ship, and was asleep and snored. And the master came to him and said, Why snorest thou? Arise and call upon thy God, that God may save us, and we perish not. And each man said to his neighbor, Come, let us cast lots, and find out for whose sake this mischief is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. And they said to him, Tell us, what is thine occupation, and whence comest thou, and of what country and what people art thou? And he said to them, I am a servant of the Lord, and I worship the Lord God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land. Then the men feared exceedingly, and said to him, What is this that thou hast done? For the men knew that he was fleeing from the face of the Lord, because he had told them. And they said to him, What shall we do to thee, that the sea may be calm to us? For the sea rose and lifted its wave exceedingly. And Jonah said to them, Take me up and cast me into the sea, and the sea shall be cold for you. For I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you. And the men cried out to return to the land, and were not able. The sea rose and grew more tempestuous against them. And they cried to the Lord and said, Forbidden Lord, let us not perish for the sake of this man's life, and bring no righteous blood upon us. For thou, Lord, hast done as thou wouldest. So they took Jonah and cast him out into the sea, and the sea ceased its raging. And the men feared the Lord very greatly, and offered a sacrifice to the Lord and vowed vows. Now the Lord had commanded the great whale to swallow up Jonah, and Jonah was in its belly of the whale 3 days and 3 nights. And Jonah prayed to the Lord God out of the belly of the whale, and said, I cried in my affliction to the Lord my God, and he hearkened to me, even to cry out of the belly of hell. Thou heardest my voice. Thou didst cast me in the depths of the heart of the sea, and the floods compassed me all thy billows, and thy waves have passed upon me. And I said, I am cast from thy presence, shall I indeed look again toward thy holy temple? Water was poured around me to the soul, the lowest deep compassed me, my head went down to the clefts of the mountains. I went down into the earth, whose bars are the everlasting barriers. Yet, O Lord my God, let my ruined life be restored. When my soul was failing me, I remembered the Lord. My prayer committed into the holy symbol. They that observe vanities and lies have forsaken their own mercy, but I will sacrifice thee to thee with the voice of praise and thanksgiving. All that I have, all I will pay to thee, the Lord of my salvation. And the whale was commanded by the Lord, and he cast Jonah on the dry land, and the word of the Lord came to Jonah the second time. very deeply grieved, and he was confounded. And he prayed to the Lord and said, O Lord, do not heed my words while I was yet in my wrath. Therefore I made haste to flee Tarshish, because I knew that thou, unmerciful and compassionate, long-suffering and abundant in kindness, and repentest of evil. And now, Lord God, take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live. And the Lord said to Jonah, art thou very much grieved? And Jonah went out from the city and sat over against the city, and he made burns up their booth. And he sat under it until he should see what would become of the city. And the Lord God commanded a board, and it came up over the head of Jonah, to be a shadow over his head, to shade him from his discomforts. And Jonah rejoiced with great joy for the board. And God commanded a worm the next morning, and it smote the board and withered away. And it came to pass at the rising of the sun that God commanded a burning east wind, and the sun smote on the hands of Jonah, and he fainted, and despaired of his life, and said, it is better for me to die than to live. And God said to Jonah, art thou very much grieved for the board? And he said, I am very much grieved, even unto death. And the Lord said, thou hadst pity on the gourd for which thou had not suffered, neither didst thou rear it, which came up before night and perished before another night. And I shall not spare it above the great city, in which dwell more than 12 myriads of human beings, who do not know their right hand from their left hand, and also much cattle.
What is this that thou hast done to us, having brought us out of Egypt? not the word which we spoke to thee in Egypt, saying, Let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians, for it is better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. And Moses said to the people, Be of good courage, stand and see that salvation is, which is from the Lord, which he will work for us this day. For as ye have seen the Egyptians today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord said to Moses, Why criest thou to me? Speak to the children of Israel, and let them proceed, and do thou lift up thy rod, and stretch forth thy hand over the sea, and divide it. And let the children of Israel enter into the midst of the sea on the dry land. And lo, I will harden the heart of Pharaoh and of all the Egyptians, and they shall go in after them, and I will be glorified upon Pharaoh and all his hosts, and on his chariots, and on his horses. And all the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I am glorified upon Pharaoh and upon his chariots and his horses. And the angel of God went before the camp of the children of Israel, removed and went behind, and the pillar of cloud also removed from before them and stood behind them. And it went between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and stood, and there was darkness and blackness. And the night passed, and they came not near to one another during the whole night. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the Lord carried back the sea with a strong south wind all the night, and made the dry sea, and the water divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea as on dry land, and the water of it was as a wall on the right hand and a wall on the left. And the Egyptians pursued them and went in after them, and every horse of Pharaoh and his chariots and his horsemen into the midst of the sea. And it came to pass in the morning watch that the Lord looked forth on the camp of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and cloud, and troubled the camp of the Egyptians, and bound the axle tires of the chariots, and caused them to go with difficulty. And the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fights against the Egyptians. And the Lord said to Moses, Stretch forth thy hand over the sea, and let the water be turned back in its place, and let it cover the Egyptians, coming both upon the chariots and the riders. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the water returned to its place toward day. And the Egyptians fled from the water, and the Lord shook off the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the water returned and covered the chariots and the riders, and all the forces of Pharaoh who entered after into the sea. And there was not left of them even one. But the children of Israel went along dry land in the midst of the sea, and the water was to them all on the right hand and all on the left. So the Lord delivered Israel on that day from the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead by the shore of the sea. And Israel saw the mighty hand of the things which the Lord did to the Egyptians. And the God feared the Lord, and they believed God and Moses his servant. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, Let us sing to the Lord. For gloriously hath he been glorified. The horse and rider hath he hurled into the sea. Let us sing to the Lord. A helper and protector is he unto me, for salvation let us sing to the Lord. This is my God, and I will glorify him, the God of my Lord, and I will exalt him. Let us sing to the Lord. The Lord quenching wars, Lord is his name. The chariots of Pharaoh and his host hurled into the sea. Let us sing to the Lord. The chosen mounted captains he plunged into the Red Sea. Let us sing to the Lord. With the open sea he covered them, they sank into the deep like a stone. Let us sing to the Lord. Thy right hand, O Lord, is glorified in strength. Let us sing to the Lord. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath shattered enemies, and in the multitude of thy glory hast thou ground down their adversaries. Let us sing to the Lord. Thou sendest forth thy wrath to consume them like stubble, and at the breath of thy wrath the water parted. Let us sing to Israel. The waters were hardened like a wool, hardened also were the waves in the midst of the sea. Let us sing to the Lord. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil, I will satisfy my soul, I will be destroyed with my sword. Thy right hand shall have dominion. Let us sing to the Lord. Thou sendest forth thy breath, the sea covered them, they sank like lead in the turbulent water. Let us sing to the Lord. chariots and riders went into the sea, and the Lord brought upon them the water of the sea. Let us sing to the Lord. But the sons of Israel walked through dry land in the midst of the sea. Let us sing to the Lord. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Let us sing to the Lord. Both now and ever, and unto the ages of ages. Amen. Let us sing to the Lord. For gloriously hath he been glorified.
Wisdom.
The reading is from the prophecy of Zephaniah.
Let us attend.
Thus saith the Lord, wait upon me till the day when I rise for a witness. My judgment shall be upon the gatherings of the nations. To draw me to me kings, to pour out upon them all my fierce anger. For the whole earth shall be consumed with fire of my jealousy. For then I will turn to the peoples at the tongue for her generation, that all may call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him under one yoke. From the boundaries of the rivers of Ethiopia will I receive my dispersed ones. They shall offer sacrifices to me. In that day thou shalt not be ashamed of all thy practices wherein thou hast transgressed.
with the vesture of gladness hath he covered me. He hath placed a crown upon me as on a bridegroom, and he hath adjourned me as a bride of comeliness. And as the earth putting forth her flowers, and as a garden its seed, so shall the Lord, even the Lord, cause righteousness to spring forth, and exaltation before all nations. For Zion's sake I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest until her righteousness goes forth as light, and my salvation burn as a torch. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and kings thy glory, and one shall call thee by a new name, which the Lord shall name. And thou shalt be a crown of beauty in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God. And thou shalt no more be called forsaken, and thy land shall no more be called desert. For thou shalt be called my pleasure, and the land inhabited, for the Lord hath taken pleasure in me. And thy land shall be inhabited, and as a young man lives with a virgin, so shall thy sons dwell in thee. And it shall come to pass that as the bridegroom will rejoice over a bride, so will the Lord rejoice over thee.
Reading is from the book of Genesis. It came to pass over these things that God tempted Abraham and said to him, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Lo, here I am. And he said, Take thy son and beloved one, whom thou hast loved, Isaac, and go into the high land and offer him there for a whole burnt offering on one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up in the morning and saddled his ass, and he took him with his servants and Isaac his son. And having split wood for a whole burnt offering, he arose and departed, and came to the place of which God spoke to him on the third day. And Abraham, having lifted up his eyes, saw the place afar off, and Abraham said to his servants, Sit ye here, yes, and I and the land will proceed thus far. And having worshipped, we will return to you. And Abraham took the wood and the whole burnt offering, and laid it on Isaac his son, and he took into his hands both the fire and the knife, and the two went together. And Isaac said to Abraham his father, Father. And he said, What is it, son? And he said, Behold the fire and the wood, where is the sheep for a whole burnt offering? And Abraham said, God will provide himself a sheep for the whole burnt offering, my son. And the both having gone together, came to the place which God spoke about to him, and there Abraham built the altar and laid the wood on it. And having bound the feet of Isaac his son together, he laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand to take the knife to slay his son. And an angel of the Lord called out him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the child, neither do anything to him, for now I know that thou fearest God, and for my sake thou hast not spared thy beloved son. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and beheld, and lo, a ram caught by his horns in a thicket. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a whole burnt offering in the place of Isaac his son. And Abraham called the name of that place the Lord hath seen, that they might say, Today in the mount the Lord was seen. And an angel of the Lord called Abraham the second time out of heaven, saying, I am sworn by myself, says the Lord, because thou hast done this thing, and on my account hast not spared thy beloved son. Surely blessing I will bless thee, and multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is by the shore of the sea. And thy seed shall inherit the cities of their enemies. And in thy seed shall all nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast hearkened to my voice.
day came when Elisha passed over to Shunem, and there was a great lady there, and she constrained him to eat bread. And it came to pass as often as he went into the city that he turned aside to eat there. And the woman said to her husband, See now, I know that this is a holy man of God who comes over continually to us. Let us now make him an upper chamber, a small place, and let us put there for him a bed, and a table, and a stool, and a candlestick. And it shall come to pass that when he comes in to us, he shall turn in thither. And a day came when he went in thither, and turned aside to the upper chamber, and lay there. And he said to Gehazi his servant, Call me this Shumanite. And he called her, and he stood before him, and he said to him, Say now to her, Behold, thou hast taken all this trouble for us. What should we do for thee? Hast thou any request to make to the king, or to the captain of the host? And she said to him, I dwell in the midst of my people. And he said to Gehazi, What must we do for her? And Gehazi the servant said, Indeed, she has no son, and her husband is old. And he called her, and she stood by the door, and she said to her, At this time next year, as the season is, thou shalt be alive and embrace a son. And she said, Nay, my lord, do not lie to thy servant. And the woman conceived and bore a son at the very time, as the season was, being alive, as Elisha said to her. And the child grew, and it came to pass that when he went out to his father to the reapers, that he said to his father, My head, my head. And his father said to the servant, Carry him to his mother. And he carried him to his mother, and he lay upon her upon her knees until noon, and died. And she carried him up and laid him on the bed of the man of God, and she shut the door upon him and went out. And she called her husband and said, Send now for me one of the young men and one of the asses, and I will ride quickly to the man of God and return. And he said, Why art thou going to noon today? It is neither new moon nor the Sabbath. And she said, It is well. And she saddled her ass and went to her servant. Be quick, proceed, spare not on my account to ride, unless I shall tell thee. Go and thou shalt proceed, and come to the man of God on Mount Carmel. And she rose and came to the man of God to the mountain. And it came to pass when Elisha saw her coming, that he said to Gehazi his servant, See now that Shumanite comes. Now run to meet her, and thou shalt say, Is it well with thee? Is it well with thy husband? Is it well with thy child? And she said, It is well. And she came to Elisha to the mountain, and laid hold of his feet, and Gehazi drew her near to thrust her away. And Elisha said, Let her alone, for her soul is much grieved within her. And the Lord has hidden it from me, and has not told me. And she said, Did I ask a son of my Lord? For did I not say, Do not deal deceitfully with me? And Elisha said to Gehazi, Gird up thy loins, and take my staff in thy hand, and go. If thou meet any man, thou shalt not salute him, and if a man salute thee, thou shalt not answer him. And thou shalt lay my staff on the child's face. And the mother of the child said, As the Lord lives, and as thy soul lives, I will not leave thee. And Elisha arose and went after her, and Gehazi went before her, and laid his staff on the child's face, but there was neither voice nor any hearing. So he returned to meet him and told him, saying, The child is not awakened. And Elisha went into the house, and behold, the dead child was laid upon his bed. And Elisha went into the house and shut the door upon themselves, the two, and prayed to God. And he went up, and he lay upon the child, and put his mouth upon his mouth, and his eyes upon his eyes, and his hands upon his hands. And he bowed himself before him, and the flesh of the child waxed warm. And he returned and walked up and down in the house, and he went up, and he bowed himself on the child 7 times. And then the child opened his eyes, and Elisha cried out to Gehazi and said, Call this Shumanite. So he called her, and she came into him, and Elisha said, Take thy son. And the woman went in and fell on his feet, and did obedience, bowing to the ground. And she took her son and went out.
The reading is from the prophecy of Isaiah. Thus saith the Lord, Where is he that brought up from the sea the shepherd of the sheep? Where is he that put his Holy Spirit in them? Who led Moses with his right hand in the arm of his glory, and forced the water to separate from him, to make himself an everlasting name? He led them through the deep as a horse in the wilderness. For thou art our brother, for though Abraham knew us not, and Israel did not acknowledge us, yet thou, who, Lord, our Father, deliver us. Thy name has been upon us from the beginning. Why hast thou caused us to stay our Lord from thy way? And hast hardened our hearts, that we should not fear thee. Return for thy servant's sake, to this thing that tribes of thy inheritance, that we may inherit a small part of thy holy mountain. We are becomest at the beginning, when thou didst not rule over us, and like thee was thou called upon us, that thou wouldst open the heaven, trembling will take a hold upon the mountains from thee, and they shall melt, as wax melt full of fire. And fire shall burn up the enemies, and thy name shall be manifest among the adversaries of thy presence. The nations shall be troubled whenever thou shalt work gloriously, trembling from thee shall take hold upon the mountains. From of old we have not heard, neither have our eyes seen as God beside thee, and thy words which thou wilt perform to them will wait for mercy, for these blessings shall have been to them that work righteousness, and they shall remember thy ways.
Amen.
The reading is from the prophecy of Daniel. In his 18th year, Nebuchadnezzar the king made a golden image. Its height was 60 cubits, its breadth 6 cubits. And he set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. And he sent forth to gather in the governors and the captains and the heads of provinces, chiefs and princes, and those who were in authority and all the rulers of districts to come and come to the dedication of the image. So the heads of provinces, the governors, the captains, the chiefs, the great princes, those who were in authority and all the rulers of districts were gathered to the dedication of the image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up, and they stood before the image. Then a herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, ye peoples, tribes, and languages, at what hour ye shall hear the trumpet of the sound of the trumpet, the pipe, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, and every type of music, ye shall fall down and worship the golden image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And whosoever shall not fall down and worship at the same hour shall be cast into the burning fiery furnace." And it came to pass, when the nations heard the sound of the trumpet, the pipe, the harp, the sargon, the well-tuned cymbals, the psaltery, and every kind of music, all the nations, tribes, and languages fell down and worshipped the golden image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then came your certain Chaldeans, and accused the Jews to the king, saying, "O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man who shall hear the sound of the trumpet, the pipe, the harp, the lyre, the trigon, the well-tuned cymbals, the psaltery, and all kinds of music, shall not fall down and worship the golden image, shall be cast into the burning fiery furnace." There are certain Jews who thou hast appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have not obeyed thy decree, O king. They serve not thy gods, and worship not the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar in wrath and anger commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they were brought before the king. And Nebuchadnezzar answered and said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that ye serve not my gods, and worship not the golden image which I had set up? Now then, if ye be ready, whensoever ye shall hear the sound of the trumpet, the pipe, the harp, the trigon, the well-tuned cymbals, and psaltery, and harmony, and every kind of music, to fall down and worship the golden image which I have made well. But if ye not worship, in the same hour ye shall be cast into the burning fiery furnace. And who is the God that shall deliver you out of my hand? Then answered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and said to King Nebuchadnezzar, We have no need to answer thee concerning this matter, for our God whom we serve is in the heavens, able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. And he will rescue us from thy hands, O king. But if not, be it known to thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar was filled with wrath, and the form of his countenance was changed toward Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And he gave orders to heat the furnace 7 times more than usual, until it should burn to the utmost. And he commanded mighty men to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. And those men were bound with their coats and caps and hose, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Forasmuch as the king's word prevailed, and the furnace was made exceedingly hot. Then these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down into the midst of the burning furnace, and walked in the midst of the flames, singing praise to God and blessing the Lord. Then Azariah stood and offered this prayer in the midst of the fire. He opened his mouth and said, Blessed art thou, O Lord God of our fathers, and worthy of praise, and thy name is glorified forever, for thou art just in all that thou hast done to us, for all thy works are true, and thy right ways and all thy judgments are true. Thou hast executed true judgments on all that thou hast brought upon us and upon Jerusalem, the holy city of our fathers. For in truth and justice thou hast brought all this upon us because of our sins. For we have sinned and lawlessly departed from thee. We have sinned in all things and have not obeyed thy commandments. We have not observed them nor done them as thou didst command us, that we might go well with us. So that thou hast brought upon us and all that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment. Thou hast given us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful rebels, and to an unjust king, the most wicked in all the world. And now we cannot open our mouths. Shame and disgrace have befallen thy servants and worshippers. For thy name's sake, do not give us up utterly, and do not break thy covenant, and do not withdraw thy mercy from us, for the sake of Abraham thy beloved, and for the sake of Isaac thy servant, and Israel thy holy one, whom thou didst promise to make their descendants as many as the stars of heaven, and as the sand of the shore of the sea. For we, O Lord, have become fewer than any nation, and we are brought low to this day in all the world because of our sins. And at this time there is no prince, no prophet or leader, or burnt offering, no sacrifice, oblation, incense, no place to make an offering before thee, or to find mercy. Yet with a contrite heart and a humble spirit may we be accepted, as though it were with burnt offerings of rams and bulls, and with tens of thousands of fat lambs, such that our sacrifice be in thy sight this day. And may we wholly follow thee, for there will be no shame for those who trust in thee. And now with all our heart do we follow thee, we fear thee, and seek thy face. Do not put us to shame, but deal with us in thy forbearance and in thy abundant mercy. Deliver us in accordance with thy marvelous work, and give glory to thy name, O Lord. Let all who do harm in thy servants be put to shame. Let them be disgraced and deprived of all power and dominion. And let their strength be broken. Let them know that thou art the God, the only God, glorious over the whole world. Now the king's servants who threw them in did not cease feeding the furnace's flames with naphtha, pitch, tow, and brush. And the flames streamed out above the furnace 49 cubits, and it broke through and burned those of the Chaldeans whom it caught about in the flame. But the angel of the Lord came down into the furnace to be with Azariah and his companions, and drove the fiery flame out of the furnace, and made in the midst of the furnace a moist whistling wind, so that the fire did not touch them at all, nor hurt them or trouble them. Then the 3 as with one mouth praised and glorified and blessed God in the furnace, saying, Blessed art thou, O Lord God of our fathers, and supremely praised and supremely exalted unto the ages. And blessed is thy glorious holy name, which is supremely praised and supremely exalted unto the ages. Blessed art thou in the temple of thy holy glory, thou who art supremely praised and supremely exalted unto the ages. Blessed art thou who sittest upon the cherubim and lookest upon the abysses, thou who art supremely praised and supremely exalted unto the ages. Blessed art thou upon the throne of thy kingdom, thou who art supremely praised and supremely exalted unto the ages. Blessed art thou in the firmament of the heaven, thou who art supremely praised and supremely exalted unto the ages. For praise the Lord, sing and exalt him throughout all the ages. Bless the Lord, all ye works of the Lord.
Sing and exalt him throughout all the ages.
Bless the Lord, ye angels of the Lord, and ye heavens of the Lord. Bless the Lord, all ye waters Bless the Lord, O fountains, seas, and rivers, O monsters of the sea, and all things that move in the waters. Bless the Lord, all ye winged creatures of the sky, O beasts and all cattle. Bless the Lord, ye sons of men, let Israel bless the Lord. Bless the Lord, ye priests of the Lord, ye servants of the Lord. Bless the Lord, ye spirits and ye souls of the righteous, ye saints and ye that be humble of heart. Bless the Lord, O Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael. Bless the Lord, ye apostles, prophets, and martyrs of the Lord. We bless Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the Lord. Both now and ever, and unto the ages of ages. Amen. We praise, we bless, and we worship the Lord. Praise the Lord, sing and exalt him throughout all the ages. As many as have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ.
Glory to the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Baptized into Christ, have put on Christ. Hallelujah. As many as have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ. Hallelujah. 声は知識と聖地に帰するのもいつもようにアミン。As many as have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ. Hallelujah.
エラサテ囚人に平安
And to thy spirit,
クリスタ
Tetrachemon in the fifth tone, let all the earth worship thee and sing psalms unto thee. Let them sing psalms unto thy name, O Most High. Let all the earth worship thee and sing psalms unto thee. Let them sing psalms unto thy name, O Most High. Shout unto the Lord, all the earth, sing psalms unto his name. Let all the earth worship thee and sing songs unto thee. Let them sing songs unto the name of Most High. Let all the earth worship thee and sing songs unto thee. Let them sing songs unto thy name, O Most High. The reading is from the Epistle of the Holy Apostle Paul to the Romans. Brethren, know ye not that as many of us as were baptized into Jesus Christ were baptized into his death? Therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin, for he that is dead is free from sin. Now if we be dead with Christ, we believe that we shall also live with him, knowing that Christ being raised from the dead dieth no more, death hath no more dominion over him. For in that he died in unto sin once, but in that he liveth unto God. Likewise reckon ye also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto God through Jesus our Lord. And thy Spirit. Arise, arise, O God, judge the earth, for to thee belong all the nations. Arise, O God, judge the earth. O God stood in the congregation of the gods, and in the midst he shall stand out among gods. Long will he judge unrighteously, except the person of sinners. To thee belong all the nations. Judge for the orphan and the poor man, do justice to the humble one of pauper. For to thee belong all the nations. Rescue the poor man and the needy from the hand of the sinner. Deliver him. Judge the earth, for to thee belong all the nations. They have not nor understood, they walk in darkness. Judge the earth, for to thee belong all the nations. I said, ye are gods, and all of you the sons of the Most High. But like men ye die, and like one of the rulers do ye fall. To thee belong all the nations. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for to thee belong all the nations.
彼らに聖福音教育を保し神による。栄一慎み立て聖福音教を聞くべし衆友人に平安。マトフェによる聖福音教の読み。
主よ声はなじにきし、声はなじにきす。
慎みて聞くべしすぼたすぎて7日の初めの日の夜明けにマリア・マグダリーナと他のマリアと墓を見るために来たれに身を地大いに震えに手出し主の使い天より下りつきて墓の門より石を移してその上に座せにその形は稲妻のごとくその衣は白いこと雪のごとし守る者は彼を恐れおののきて施設者のごとくなれに天使女に迎えて家に何時ら恐れる中で我何時らが十字架に掲せられしイーススを尋ねるを知る。彼はここにあらず下しそのいい仕事復活せり光で主の置かれしところを見よかつ速やかに行きてその門徒に告げて言え彼死より復活せり何時らに先出してガリレアに行く何時ら賢において彼を見んと見よ我何時らに家に女急ぎて墓を離れ恐れかつ大いに喜びてその門徒に呆然ために走り行けり彼らが門徒に呆然ために行けるとき見よイーススこれにあいて家に喜べよ彼らつきてその足を抱きて彼を這いせりイーススこれに言う恐るる中で行き手をが消えてに報じてガリレアに行かしめよ彼ら賢において我を見女の行くとき見よ万兵のうちのある者町に入りてありしことをもってことごとく司祭所長に告げたり彼らは長老らと共に集まり愛にして多くの銀を兵卒に与えて家に何時来へ我らが入れてるときその門と夜来たりで彼を盗めりともしこのことを方白に聞こえれば我ら彼に進めて何時らに憂いながら締め彼ら銀を取りて教えられしごとく行いたりここにおいてこの言葉はユーデヤ人のうちに伝わりて今日に至れり11の門とガリレアに来てイースの彼らに命ぜし山にいたり彼を見て這いせり敷かれた物を抱える者は歩きイースつきて彼らに告げて言えり天にあり地にある一切の権は我に与えられたり故に何時ら生きて万民に教えを伝えて彼らに父と子と精神との名によって戦を授け彼らを教えて我が一切何時らに命ぜしことを守らしめよ見よ我つに何時らと共にして世の終わりまであるなりアーミン。我ら皆魂を全うしています。我らの思いを全うしています。主殿の高いその神や何時にの消えた我めよ。神やの愛に我ら我めよ。何時にの消えた我めよ。主は我め主は我め主は我めまたはこの天の思いに寄せられる者のために祈る。 司教ダニエル、尊貴なる我らの仙台の大司教、東京の副司教セラフィム、およびハリストスにおける不登録の我らの敬礼のために祈る。
主は我め、主は我め、主は我め。
また我らの敬礼主司祭、主修道司祭およびハリストスにおける我らの主敬礼のために祈る。
主は我め、主は我め、主は我め。
またついてお伏せられる二人聖なる聖教のパトリアル、この聖堂の建立者を見せに眠りしことを読の尊敬て、このところとその元に葬られたる聖教の者のために祈る。
主は我め、主は我め、主は我め。
またこの相なる聖堂に物を立て祭り善行を行い、これに行しこれに愉快、およびここに立って何時の大いについたこの憐れみを仰ぎ望む者のために祈る。
主は我め、主は我め、主は我め。
しかし何時は天にして人を愛する神なる我ら公明を何時に父とことを聖なる今もいつもように。名門者や主に祈るべし。
主は我め。
信者や啓蒙者のために祈らん願わくわしは彼らに憐れみをため。
主は我め。
真実の言葉をもって彼らを啓蒙せ。
主は我め。
義の御心を彼らに開か。彼らをその聖公書の教会に貢ぎせ。神や何時の恩寵をもって彼らを救い憐れみ助け守れよ。啓蒙者や何時らの神戸を主にかがめよ。願わくは彼らも我らと共に何時父と子と精神の子孫知恵の名を参用せ、今もいつものように。主啓蒙者いでよ、啓蒙者いでよ、主啓蒙者いでよ。啓蒙者一人もなく、ただ信者またまた安安にして主に祈らん。神よ、何時の恩寵をもって我らを助け救い憐れみ守れよ。 願わくは主神はその国において教会を司る尊貴なる我らの東京の大司教全日本の不死教ダニール尊貴なる我らの仙台の大司教東京の不死教セラフィムを常に記憶せん今もいつも世々に願わくは主神はその国において汝主聖教のハリスティアリンダを常に記憶せん今もいつも世々に
「
神父の慈しみ、精神の親しみは汝囚人と共にあらんこと。
「
これはがたい何らのために捧げるもの罪の許しを潤いたす。その聖なるものとより人に与えていり、皆これを飲め、これは愛の新約の地、何時の及び多くの人のために流されるもの、罪の許しを潤いたす。ことに聖潔にしていただけ賛美歌で我らの光栄のください。昇進の得てどうぞ、涙のため。 主がこの教会をつかんでいる尊貴なる我らの公共の大使教全日本の不死教団にいる尊貴なる我らの仙台の大使教東京の不死教セラフィンを記憶し、彼らを平安無難尊貴尊敬長寿なる者および何が真実の言葉を正しく伝わる者として何との聖なる教会に与えたまえ。
「
自然にして命を施す汝の神と共に参与せらる今もいつものように。
「
ききたれ。主は我信じかつ受け認めて何十日にハリストス生活の神の子在任をするがためにおいてやりし者となす。主在任のうち我第一なり。また真図これはすなわち何が至上の体、これはすなわち何が思想の違いと。故に何による我々は自由の自由ながらして言葉と行いで知ると知らずして犯し所在を許したまえ。並びに我に経済なく何が至上なる機密を受けて罪許しと衛生等をうたとめたまえ。アミン。神の声を守る何が機密の上に扱うものと知りたまえ。私は何度なる機密を告げざらまた何度理由なる不幸なさらんすなわち運動のこと何度理由という主や何の秘密を力を強く主は祈り何の聖なる機密を我がために真あるいは聖大となるすなわち霊界に燃やしてもらうことをアミン。神や何の富を救い、おい何の修行に福を下せ。 受けてよろしく主に感謝すべし。神やなんとの長を我らを助け救い合いに守れよ。この日の純全正々平安無罪ならぬことを求めて我らは己の身を見互いの身をもって並びにことごとくの我らの命をもってカリストを神に託す。今もいつもよように。平安にしていずべし。主に祈らん。何でを参用する者に福を下し、及び何でを頼む者を聖にする主や、何の民を救い、及び何の事業に福を下し、何では教会の10万を守り、何では道の乱を愛する者を聖にせよ。何では神聖の力を持って彼らを公演し、及び我ら何でを頼む者の残すなかれ、何の使いと何の主教会と何の諸司祭と我が国の天皇、及び何の囚人に平安を唱え、けだしよその善なる施し、よその善美な賜物は、不用意難事公明の父より下りがない、我ら光栄感謝福範囲を難事父とことを精神に現ず、今もいつもよように。
およびことごとくの聖教のハリスティアに歌う。
thee, O God, glory to thee, O God, glory to thee, O God.
I thank thee, O Lord my God, that thou hast not rejected me a sinner, but hast vouchsafed me to be a communion of thy holy things. I thank thee that thou hast vouchsafed me the unworthy to partake of thy most pure and heavenly gifts. But, O Master, love for mankind, you have forsaken this thine mercy, and it is bestowed upon us these dreadful and heavenly mysteries, for the well-being and sanctification of our souls and bodies. Grant that these may be given unto me for the healing of both soul and body, for the averting of everything hostile, for the enlightenment of the eyes of my heart, for the peace and the powers of my soul, for faith unashamed, for love unfeigned, for the fullness of wisdom, for the keeping of thy commandments, for the increase of thy divine grace, and for the attainment of the kingdom. Again, preserved by them in thy holiness, I may always remember thy grace, and no longer live for myself, but for thee, our Master and Benefactor. Thus when I shall depart this life and hope of life eternal, I maintain unto rest and lasting, wherein the sound of them they keep festivals unceasing, and the delight is endless of them that behold the ineffable beauty of thy countenance. For thou art the true joy and utterable lens, and the love of Christ your God, and all creation doth bring thee unto thee, and is Amen. O Master Christ, God, King of the ages, and Creator of all things, I thank thee for all the good things which thou hast bestowed upon me, and for the communion of thy most pure and life and mysteries, and pray thee therefore, O God, and love of mankind, keep me under thy protection and the shadow of thy wings. Grant even unto my last breath to take glory to thee with the pure conscience of thy holy things, unto the remission of sins and life eternal, for thou the bread of life, the source of holiness, they gave our quickening, and unto thee, Son of glory, together with the Father and the Holy Spirit, and ever unto the ages of ages. Amen. While thou givest me willingly thy precious food, thou art fire that doth consume me inwardly, burn me not of thy Creator, but rather enter thou into all my members, into all my joints, my reins, my heart. Burn up the thorns of all my sins, purify my soul, sanctify my thoughts, strengthen my substance together with my bones. Enlighten to my simplified senses, melt down the whole of me with thy fear, after protect, preserve, and keep me from every soul corrupting demon word. Purify, cleanse, and adorn me, make me come, give me understanding and enlighten me, show me to be the dwelling place of thy Spirit, alone and no longer habitation of sin. That remains thine above through thee and pure communion, every will do, every passion make fleas from fire. As an assessors are for thee all the saints and commanders, thy body was host, thy foreign and thy wise apostles, and worthy men unto fountain of other risen treaties, do thou accept my compassion and Christ, and make us serve the trial of life. For thou honor our sanctification of good women, the radiance of our souls, and unto thee as God and Master, we also implore as is meet every day. O Lord Jesus Christ, our God, may thy holy body be unto me for life eternal, and thy precious blood for the remission of sins. When may this Eucharist be unto me for joy, health, and gladness. And at thy dread second coming, vouchsafe me some ever stand at the right hand of thy glory, through the intercessions of thy most pure mother and of all the saints. O most holy Lady Theotokos, let my darkness all my hope, protection, refuge, consolation, my joy. I thank thee that thou hast blessed me, saved me, who am unworthy to be partaker of the most rewarding precious blood of thy Son. Thou gavest birth to the source of true light, do thou lighten the spiritual eyes of my heart. Thou who gavest birth to the source of immortality, revive me from death and sin. Thou art the loving and compassionate Mother, the merciful God, of mercy upon me, grant me the function and contrition in my heart, and humility in my thoughts, and follow my thoughts in captivity. And vouchsafe me even unto my last breath to receive without condemnation and sanctification of the most pure mysteries, of the healing of both soul and body, and grant me tears of repentance and confession with which shame and glorify thee all the days of my life. For blessed and most glorified art thou unto the ages. Amen. Lord, now let us thou thy servant depart in peace, according to thy word, for man has seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared before the face of all peoples, a light of revelation for the Gentiles, and the glory of thy people Israel. Saying that kami, saying that iki, saying that Diyos, and no yore raware mayo. Saying that kami, saying that iki, saying that Diyos, and no yore raware mayo. Saying that kami, saying that iki, saying that Diyos, and no yore raware mayo. Koe wa chishtokoto seishin kisima waitsimo yami. She says that she ordered all the mission, or whatever to me is like your presale. Shasai ordered no I much in the saying that no you. And I don't know my yash, Amaya, the book of Nanjino, and you there. Shower me, Koe wa chishtokoto seishin kisima waitsimo yami. And he was what a chichio, the got one and Nanjino say to Saturday. Nanjino Kanimaki, Nanjino Muratenio Kana, Buchini Mokana. 我が日曜の方をこんにちは我らに与えたまえ我らにおいめよるものを我らに許すことと我らのおいめを許しなまえ我らのビザに導かせな我らを暗くより救いたまえ
出しと天のこと俺は何時父のことを精神にする今もいつも祈りに
Amen. Thy fame hath gone forth into all the earth, which hath received thy word. Thereby thou hast divinely taught the faith, thou hast made the manifest nature of created things. Thou hast made the moral life of men a royal priesthood, who praise the righteous Father, intercede with Christ God that our souls be saved. Koe wa chishtokoto seishin kisu. That is proved to be an unshakable foundation of the church, giving to all mortals and inviolate lordship in sin with the doctrines of righteous faith, the revealer of heavenly things. Imamo never failing. Disdain not the suppliant voices of sinners, but be thou quick of good to help us who cry to thee in faith. Hasten to intercession, speed thou to make supplication, and thou dost ever protect both thou to host them that honor thee. Shuaorimi, 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 Koewa, Jishrokuto, Seishiniki, Suimanoisimo, Yamin, more honorable than the cherubim, and beyond compare, more glorious than the seraphim, who without corruption gave his birth to God the Word, the very Theotokos, thee do we magnify, in the name of the Lord, who blessed.
アリストス我らの誠の神はその至上なる母、公益して賛美たる聖子と呼び諸聖人の祈祷によりて我らを我に救わん。彼は善にして人を愛する主なればなり。